Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will start customer invoices. Go to customers, transactions, customer tax invoices. Now, when you are invoicing to your customers, you can use this customer tax invoices. And there are a few methods you can enter customer tax invoices. First method is you can go to customers, transactions, and select customer tax invoices and click add a tax invoice. Or sometimes you may enter quotations to your customers. So if you have entered customer quotations, you can convert that customer quotations into customer tax invoice. Okay, you can go to customers, transactions, customer quotes, select your customer quotation and click actions and click create invoice. Then that invoice will convert, quotation will convert to tax invoice. So if you are use this conversion method, you don't want to enter any detail, system will automatically convert that quotation to invoice, and everything like customer, items, quantities, those details will fill by the system. If you want to change, you can change if you want to do any modifications. And also, if you have entered in sales orders, you can convert that sales order to customer invoice. Like that, you can enter customer invoices. And also, when you are entering customer invoices and click add a tax invoice, after you select customer, if that customer has any pending quotations or sales order, system will pop up a message. There are outstanding sales orders for this customer. Do you want to invoice them now? So if you want to convert that quotation or sales order, you can click yes and you can select the quotations or sales order. Okay, you can view that status from this invoiced, pending, expired, overdue. So if you have any pending invoice or pending sales order or quotation, you can convert it. Then also you don't want to enter details, system will convert that sales order or quotations details to customer invoice screen. Then item, quantity, price. If there is any discount, system will display or pop up in this invoice screen. After that, you can directly email or print or save this invoice. Right. Next, we will discuss what are the advanced features in this customer invoice. First, you select customer. If there's any pending order, system will pop up message. If you want convert, you can convert those quotations or sales orders. Next, after you select the customer, system will display customer balance, customer credit limit, and other details. And if you have given any credit period for this customer, system will calculate that credit period. Okay, now we will go to list of customers. Accounting Software Private Limited. We'll open this customer. Now we have given 45 days credit period. Therefore, system will calculate due date as this date. Okay, and also we have given 10% discount. Therefore, system will display 10% discount. And also we have set default sales rep, so that details will display here. Next, we can select items. When you are selecting items, you can view item code, item description, reserved quantity, and quantity on hand. From here, you can select your item. And when you have given, or when you are creating items, if you have entered the price, system will display the price. You can change the quantity. Default quantity is 1. So if you want to change, you can change the quantity. And also you can see there are 3 decimal places. You can set it from your company settings. Go to company, change company settings, general settings, item settings, regional settings. From here you can see under regional settings, quantity decimal places is 3. Therefore, in this screen, system will display 3 decimal places for quantity. Okay, if you want to change, you can change from here. Then this number of decimal places will display in the screen. Right. Next, use inclusive amount and exclusive amount. Now, if this is a tax customer, you can change this price, or you can view as an exclusive price or inclusive price. If you untick this option, system will display exclusive price. If you tick this option, system will display inclusive price. Right. Next, sometimes you want to create, without selecting items, you want to select GL accounts. For an example, if you are providing consultancy services, sometimes there may be, there are not any items. In that case, you want to directly transfer these invoice amounts to your GL accounts. For an example, if you are providing consultant services, you want to select that particular GL account or income account. In that case, you can change this type to account, then you can select your GL account. Now here you can select implementation income as your GL account, and you can enter the amount. Okay, like that, you can select your GL accounts. If you want to invoice items, you can select items from type. If you want to invoice for your GL accounts, you can select account from type. Okay, next we will move to these analysis codes. You can create analysis codes from company. Go to analysis codes, and you can create analysis code and analysis categories from here. Now, for an example, if your company has departments, cost centers, projects, jobs, and if you want to view your profit and loss report area-wise, in that case, you can create this analysis code. Now, for an example, we can create department. Assume your company has departments. We will create departments here. You can rename this analysis code 1 description to department. And under that, you can create your analysis code categories. After that, if you create those category analysis code, when you are generating your profit and loss report, you can view department-wise profitability. I'll go to profit and loss report, select date range, and select this analysis code. And from select analysis code, you can select department and click view report. Now you can see there are different departments and their values will display. So if you want to view department-wise profitability reports, or if you want to maintain any department's projects, you can use these analysis codes. And after you create analysis codes, you can link that analysis codes to this invoice. Then this will update in the analysis code. Okay, after that, you can save. Okay, we will generate report for today. You can select custom dates and select the date. Okay, now you can see this implementation income and sales department and accounts department has values. So you can click these values and drill down. You can drill down up to your source document or original transaction. Right. Okay, like that, you can link your analysis code to your invoice. Next, from options, you can view gross profit based on average cost or last cost. You can view item code, item description, average cost, exclusive price, gross profit amount, and gross profit percentage. So for invoice GP, system will display only for item accounts. If you have selected any GL accounts or type account, those lines will not display. And also you can view the gross profit based on average cost, or you can view gross profit based on last cost. Okay, now here, if you select average cost, gross profit is 21,000. If you select last cost, gross profit is 11,000. Right. Next, you can view invoice history created. Next, user-defined fields. You can use these user-defined fields for enter additional details. Next, document attachments. If you want to attach any documents, you can add attachments such as quotations or that customer purchase orders you can attach here. Next, document notes. If you want to add any document notes, you can add here. Next, anticipated payments. Now, after you invoice and you are giving credit period for this customer, and sometimes that customer will pay on this date. So in that case, you can enter anticipated payment date. After you enter any anticipated payment date, it will display in the dashboard. From here, you can view your anticipated payment dates. Next, you can create recurring invoices. And if you want to convert this invoice to credit note, you can convert to credit note. And you can re-invoice. And if you want to create receipt, you can create receipt. Or if you want to copy same invoice, you can copy this invoice. Right. Next, when you are creating this customer, you can enter customer credit limit. Here you can enter credit limit. And when you are invoicing, if that customer credit limit exceeded, system will pop up a message. And if you want to continue, you can click yes, and you can continue the invoice, or by clicking no, you can change the invoice. Right, we will click yes and continue. Okay, now here you can view your list of invoices. You can view customer name, document number, customer reference, invoice date, invoice due date, tax, total amount due, status, sales rep, and these details. And if you want to customize, you can customize by clicking this customize grid, and required columns you can tick. If you want to remove any column, you can untick this column. And also you can sort by these headings. You can sort by ascending or descending order by clicking these headings. And you can view date, invoice transaction date, due date, then total amount due. And from the status, you can view paid, unpaid, overdue transactions. Paid is that your customer has paid for this invoice. Now here you can see this invoice total is 310 and cents 50. Amount due is 0. That means that customer has paid. And unpaid is we have invoice, customer still not paid to us. And there's another status, overdue, that is customer haven't paid, and if we have given any credit period, that customer invoice exceeded that credit period. Okay, the difference between this overdue and unpaid is both scenarios they haven't paid. However, in unpaid, that transaction not reach the due date. In overdue, customer has exceeded that credit period. Okay. Furthermore, there's another status, partially paid. Now here you can see this invoice. Total amount is 40,250. Amount due is 36,250. That means customer has paid partially. If that customer has paid partially, the status will change to partially paid. Okay. And also here you can view any, if you have attached any documents, or if you have entered any notes or anticipated payment dates, this color will change to orange. So from this, you can view that details. And also, if you want to add any notes, by clicking here, you can view that, or you can add additional notes for this item. You can click this file mark and you can add notes. Okay, right, now we have completed customer invoices. Next, we will move to customer credit notes. Okay, and also if you have entered customer tax invoice, it will update your income account, it will update your customers and trade receivables, and also it will update the inventory. Okay. And if taxes available, it will update that tax payable. And when you are invoicing, it will debit revenue account, credit cost of sales, and balance will go to profit, and debit trade receivables and credit inventory. Okay, next we will move to customer credit notes. Now, after you sell your items or services to your customers, sometimes your customers may return their goods or services back to you. Okay, sometimes due to damage those items, or sometimes they reject the order, or sometimes they want to order another items. In that case, sometimes customers may return their goods. So if they return their goods, you can enter credit note in the system. After you enter the credit note in the system, their balances will reduce and inventory will increase, and your sales account will update and cost of sales accounts will update. Okay, so you can enter credit note, go to customers, transactions, customer tax invoice, and click add credit note, or you can go to invoices, customer tax invoices, and select the invoice and click actions and click create credit note. So if you use that method, you don't want to enter any details here. Everything will fill by the system, and if you want to do any modification, you can do. Okay, now you can enter credit notes from here. Go to customers, transactions, customer credit note, and you can select the customer. If you have any invoices, you can select from here, or you can enter items from here. And you can enter quantity, price will automatically pick from the system, and you can see. Okay, like that, you can enter credit notes. And if returning invoice in the system, you can easily convert that invoice to credit note, or you can enter fresh credit note. After you enter credit notes, you can view that credit note list. From here, you can view the list of credit notes. And you can customize this grid, and you can filter or search your credit notes. Okay, next we will move to customer recurring invoices. Now, sometimes you may provide services to your customers. Or for an example, you are providing accounting services to your customer. So you will charge from that customer every month, or every quarterly, or every yearly. You will charge a particular amount. Okay, so if that amount is fixed amount, and if you are frequently charged, for an example, every month you are charging, you can set that invoice as a recurring invoice. Then system will automatically create that invoice and email to that invoice to your customer. Okay, now if you are regularly or frequently invoicing for your customers, you can use this feature. You can enter recurring invoices from customers, transactions, customer recurring invoices. Click add recurring invoice. You can select your customer here. You can enter any reference number, and you can enter your discount rates. You can select your sales rep. And if you have entered these details when you are creating your customer, these details will automatically display in the screen. Okay. Next, recurring invoice setup. From here, you can set start date and start date, frequency, and end date. Okay. Now, for an example, if you want to start from 5th, you can set the date for 5th, and you can select the frequency. You can invoice every day, every week, every second week, every month. And you can select every second month, every third month, every 6th month, or every year. Now, for an example, assume you want to invoice every month, then select every month. And if you want to enter end date, you can enter end date here. Or if you haven't enter end date, system will continue that invoice. Every month, system will create that invoice. Next, due date for payment. You can enter credit period for this invoice. And there's another option, create invoice as draft or automatically. If you select automatically, system will create invoice from this start date, and it will continue from this frequency. And if you want to get a alert, you can select as draft. Then system will not generate that invoice. You can check and you can process this invoice. Okay, if you select automatically, system will automatically generate the invoice. And if you select as draft, you can check and process the invoice. Next, email distribution. If you want to send emails, if you have entered any email address when you are creating customer, system will email to this email address. And if you want to add any CC email address, you can tick here and you can enter CC email address. Next, you can select your item or service. And you can enter quantity, amount, and you can select analysis codes. And if you want to add notes, you can add notes here. After that, you can save this invoice. Then automatically it will create every month starting from this date. Okay, now for an example, in apartments, they will charge management fee or any other fees frequently, means monthly or quarterly. So you can set recurring invoice, then system will automatically generate that management fee invoice and it will distribute to their residents. And also, if you are charging rent from your customers, you can set that recurring invoice, and every month or quarterly or biannually, system will automatically generate that invoice and will send to your customers. After you create your recurring invoices, you can view your recurring invoices from here. You can view name, customer name, recurring invoice number, date. You set the first date or start date. Next, last run, last time when this invoice generated, and next run you can view, and end date for that invoice, total, and you can view the frequency, create invoice by automatically or as draft, sales rep, and you can customize this and you can filter and you can search. Okay, like that you can create recurring invoices. And also, if you have entered any tax invoices, you can convert to recurring invoice. Okay, you can open that invoice and go to options, click, select, create recurring invoice. Okay, now these invoice details will display here. You can select start date, frequency, and these details you can change. And one important thing, when you are setting your start date, it always should be a future date. Okay. For current date and backdated invoices, you cannot create. Now you cannot save this one. We will try to save this. Okay, so start date must be a date in the future. So current date also, today's date also, you cannot set as start date. The start date must be a date in future. Okay, like that you can create your recurring invoices. Okay, now we have entered customer quotations, customer sales orders, customer invoices, customer recurring invoices, and customer credit notes. Now, customer will pay to us and we need to enter customer receipts. You can enter customer receipts from customers, transactions, select customer receipts. From here, you can enter your customer receipts. Click add receipt, select the customer. After you select the customer, you can view customer unpaid invoices. You can enter the payment amount. You can enter reference. Now, for an example, if your customer pay by check, you can enter the reference and you can select depositing bank account. And also you can enter any descriptions to this receipt and you can enter any comment, and also you can select the payment method. You can select cash, check, credit card, or EFT. EFT is electronic fund transfer. And from here, this drop down menu, you can select the payment method. And there's a document message. And set this document message from company, change company settings, documents and statements, customer document messages. Here you can enter any document message such as thank you for your payment, like that, and it will display in the your receipt printout. And also you can set document message from here, add message and description and message you can type here. And if you are using analysis code, you can select analysis code from here. Now, for an example, if you are using job, you can select that analysis code. And from this job, what are the receipt you can view if you have select this analysis code. Okay, from transactions report, you can view what are the receipts for this job. Right. Next, you can enter the amount here and you can process this supplier or customer receipts. Okay, let's select another customer. Right now, when you are one option is you can enter the paid amount here, and or you can select what are the invoices that customer is going to pay, and you can tick, then that total will display here. You can tick what are the invoices that customer is going to pay, and you can then system will display that total amount, or directly you can enter the paid amount here, then system will allocate that invoices. And also you can view document number, invoice number, invoice date, total for that invoice, amount due for that invoice, amount received, and discount. Now, when you are creating your customers, go to list of customers and open that customer. Now here there's an option auto allocate receipt to oldest invoice. Now if you tick this option, when you enter any payment, when you enter receipt amount, system will automatically allocate to oldest invoice. Now you can view the date, or you can sort by document number or date. So if you tick this option, auto allocate receipt to all dust invoice, when you enter receipt amount, system will automatically allocate to all dust invoices. And if you untick that option, you can manually select, or you can allocate what are the invoices you are going, that customer is going to pay. Okay. Here also, if you want manually allocate what are the invoices that customer is going to pay. And also sometimes customer will pay advance. In that case, you don't want to select any invoice. You can directly enter the receipt amount and you can process the transaction. Okay. You can enter the receipt number, you can enter check number, and from here, after you enter these details, you can process and email this receipt, or you can process and print, or you can save this invoice, customer receipts. Okay, like that you can create customer receipt. And furthermore, if you want to enter customer receipts, you can go to customer tax invoices, and you can select your unpaid invoices and go to actions, select create receipts. After you create receipt, system will select the name, the amount, and you can see system has selected the payment invoice. Okay, like that you can enter your customer receipts. Okay, next we will move to allocate receipts. Okay, before discuss this allocation, I'll generate customer outstanding report. Go to customers reports, customer balances days outstanding, and you can run customer balances days outstanding report and select this detail. And from here, you can select particular customer, or you can select all customers. And I'll select this customer and generate the report. Okay, now in this report, you can see some amounts in minus, some amount in plus, like that. Now, when you generate this report, if you haven't allocate your receipts to your invoices, system will display receipts separately and invoice separately. So you need to allocate your customer receipt to your invoices. Sometimes if your customer paid advances, at that time you cannot select invoices. Therefore, when you are generating these reports, you can view receipts separately and invoice separately. Or sometimes you may forget that to allocate your receipts when you are enter customer receipts. So therefore, you can use this customer allocation to allocate your unallocated receipts. Okay, so after you properly allocate your customer receipts, you cannot see, or you may not see like this. So all receipt will allocate to your invoices. Then you will see only the net outstanding invoices. Okay, now here you can see some receipts available, some invoices available. So if you properly allocate your receipts to invoices, probably, or you can view only customer outstanding invoices. Okay, so to generate accurate report, you can use these customer allocations to allocate your receipts. Okay, from allocations, you can go to customer allocations from customers, transactions, allocate receipts, and you can select your customer and refresh. Then you can see left side your invoices, and right side you can view your unallocated receipts or credit notes. Okay, now if you want to allocate your receipts to invoices, you can just drag and drop to this side. Then system will allocate that invoice. Okay, I'll do it again. You can just drag and drop, then system will allocate. Now here, now again I'll invoice. Now here receipt amount is 1,000. This outstanding invoice is 180,000. I'll allocate this. Then due amount reduced to 179,000, and 1,000 receipt will not display here. I'll repeat it again. Now here 1,000 available. I'll drag and drop. Now when you are dragging, its color is red. When you drop into an invoice, it will color change to green. You can see now red, now green, and you can see total amount is 180,000. Due amount is now reduced to 179,000. Now 1,000 receipts not available here. Like that, you can allocate your receipts to invoices. And if you want to unallocate again, you can just drag and drop right side. Okay, now again, due amount increased to 180,000. Like that, you can drag and drop your customer unallocated receipt to invoices. Okay, when you are creating credit note also, you can allocate your invoices, and if you haven't allocate, you can just drag and drop those credit notes to invoices. Right, now there are a few options. First one, show outstanding only. Now when you see these invoices, every invoice has due amount, and if you untick this option, you can view all invoices. Okay, not only outstanding invoices, you can view all invoices. Then you can see this zero due amount is zero, invoices is already allocated invoice or paid invoices. So if you take this option, you can view only outstanding invoices. Right. Next, there are 3 display options. First one, display all invoices. If you select this, our system will display all outstanding invoices. And if you select invoices between and set a date range, system will display only that date range. Now system will display only this date range outstanding invoices. Next, select specific invoice number. If you enter any invoice number here, system will display only that invoice. Okay, like that you can change these display options. First one, all invoices. Second one, invoices between. Third one, specific invoice number. If you select all invoices, system will display all outstanding invoices. And if you select invoices between, system will display particular date range invoices. And if you select specific invoice number, system will display in that only that invoice number. Right. And when you are allocating invoice unallocated items, for one invoice, you can allocate many receipts, or you can allocate one receipt, or from one receipt, you can allocate many invoices. Here, I'll allocate it to 125. Again, now here you can see 2,500 reduced to 1,275. Again, I'll allocate. Now that unused amount reduced to 1,050. Again, I'll allocate. Now unused amount reduced to 54 cents 75. Like that, you can allocate one receipt for many invoices, or you can allocate many receipts to one invoice. However, when you are allocating like that, you cannot select, or you can enter a particular amount. Now, for an example, if you want to allocate from this 10,000 receipt, 5,000 for this invoice, and if you want to allocate 5,000 for this fourth invoice. Okay. Again, I'll repeat it again. From this 10,000, you want to allocate 5,000 for this first invoice and 5,000 for second invoice. If you want to allocate like that, you can use this split unallocated item amount. Okay, you can take this option and you can drag and drop. Then system will pop up a message, please enter value. Now here you can enter 5,000 and click OK. You can see this receipt number 78 available here, and you can allocate balance 5,000 for this invoice, and you can enter 5,000 here. Like that, you can allocate partially or you can split your payment amount if you use split unallocated item amount tick box. Okay. Now I'll repeat it again. You want to allocate 5,000 for the second invoice, 5,000 for fourth invoice from this 10,000. You can drag and drop here. Then you can enter allocated amount and assume 2,000 for this fourth invoice. You can enter that amount. Okay. Like that, you can split a specific amount if you tick this split unallocated item amount. After that, you can save. Okay. Like that, you can allocate. If you haven't allocated any amount or any receipt or credit note to your invoices. Okay, now you can see the CLM1. There's a receipt and invoice 230. Total net outstanding amount is 0. This invoice and receipt will display in the report because we haven't allocated that receipt to invoice. Okay, select that customer and refresh, then it will display these transactions, and you can drag and drop this unallocated item, then it will become 0. Okay, after that you can save this allocation. Right. Like that, you can allocate your unallocated items, then system will not display that receipt and invoice separately in your outstanding report. Okay, like that you can do customer allocations. Okay, next we will move to customer adjustments. Now, sometimes you need to increase or decrease your customer balances due to some reasons, due to audit entries or any other reasons. You need to change your customer balances. In that case, you can use these customer adjustments, and from customer adjustment, you can increase or decrease your customer balances. Okay, you can go to customers, transactions, customer adjustments, click at customer adjustment, and from here you can select your customer and you can view the customer balance. If you want to increase your customer balance, you can select increase from effect, and if tax is available, you can select tax type, and from here you can select the by affecting account. Now for an example, by mistakenly you have entered advertising expenses to your advertisement account and you want to correct that one. So in that case, you can select this by affecting account as advertising, and now here your customer balance will increase, that is trade receivable will debit and credit this selected account. Okay, after that you can enter reference number, any correction number or any reference number, and you can enter the amount, and you can enter description, comments, and you can select the date. And if analysis code attached to this transaction, you can select that analysis code by clicking analysis code and you can select. After that, you can process this transaction. After you process this transaction, that customer's balance will increase by 10,000. Sometimes you need to decrease your customer balances. In that case, you can select decrease from effect, and you can select account. And if you decrease your customer balances, you can select any unpaid invoices from here. Okay, if you select increase, it will not display unpaid invoices. If you select decrease, you can see unpaid invoices, and you can select your invoice and you can process this transaction. Okay, like that you can increase or decrease your customer balances. Okay, like that you can enter customer transactions. We have completed customer quotations, sales orders, tax invoices, recurring invoice, credit note, customer receipts and allocate receipt, and customer adjustment. From quotations, you can give a quotation to your customers, and from sales orders, you can reserve customers' sales orders, or you can reserve goods for particular customer. From tax invoices, you can invoice to your customers. From recurring invoices, you can set or you can schedule your customer invoices. If your customer return goods to you, you can enter customer credit note. And after customer pays, you can enter customer receipts. And if you haven't allocated any receipt to your invoices, customer invoices, you can use this allocate receipt and allocate your unallocated items to your invoices. And from customer adjustments, you can increase or decrease your customer balances. Okay, like that you can do these transactions from transaction section. Next session we will discuss customer reports.